just calling to say I...
Hey guys, this channel is dedicated to helping new players improve at Star Wars The Old Republic PvP, so join the community Discord, link will be down in the description. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ragequittinggaming. In this video, I wanted to emphasize the importance of PvPing at the early stages of your character's leveling progress. There's the strong points that I make at towards the end of the video, but those points need to be said at the end. So please watch the entire video. I point out, things and little tips that you guys can do for your, PvP experience from start to finish. So please stick around until the end and let's just get right into the video because I want to show how early you can actually start PvPing and a couple things you need to do beforehand before you enter. So that's what we're doing here. I made a new character, and I can't believe that this character name wasn't taken. Surprise MF. This is what we look like right now, and of course, we can't have none of that, so let me go ahead and get cool first. Alright, that's a lot better. Let's do it like this.
Padawans will get home safe, I promise.
I've got a beacon here. If you can find the Padawans and set the beacon, we'll send an evac shuttle as fast as we can. A group of Jedi from the temple is headed to...
So if you guys think that PvP starts at level 80 and you get yourself to 80 and then start PvPing then, you're doing it backwards, especially if you know that you are going to be PvPing in this game as one of the focuses. Like, this game is 10 years old. People have been playing PvP for 10 years. The way that we did it when the game first came out is played through the story once on a character, if you wanted to do that. But then, if you made any other characters or you wanted to PvP on certain ones, we would just level through PvP. Like, the exact method that I'm about to show you, we get to level 10, and then we go to the fleet and never leave the fleet, and just PvP all the way up. Or PvP in between, while you are doing your solo story, where, we're queued up for PvP. So just constantly PvPing throughout all of your levels, and then that way you get so much more experience. Let's take this call here.
I'll push back the enemy, whatever it takes.
We need to stop them at the source.
So anyway, that's where a lot of problems come from as well, is when people just do their solo story all the way to level 80, and then they try to jump into PvP and expect everything to go their way. So the advantages to leveling this way, and any of the OG players in this game, if they still play this game, and then myself included, have at least a couple characters that we leveled through PvP alone. So by the time that you get to level 80 and you jump into your first match at level 80, because once you hit level 80, you're going to be undergeared compared to other players that have been, PvPing at that level already, right? Most people will already have a lot of their gear. You're coming in there a little undergeared because you didn't have a chance to farm it yet because you just hit 80, and now you're going up against, experienced players who are fully geared. So the least you can do is at least have an idea of what you're supposed to be doing, right? At least have a good grasp on the game. PvP early, PvP at low levels, PvP at, the mid-tier bracket. Of course you can level with solo content whenever you want, but I would highly suggest doing PvP as well along with that, because, hold on, we're going to take this conversation.
You're talking about the Flesh Raiders?
Yeah.
You're walking a dangerous path. You and your friends need to get back to camp.
I like how I still made her look like a Sith assassin, because we are playing Republic at the moment, but I'm a true imp. But yeah, so play PvP early. That's all I can say about that. You get so much more experience, and then by the time you get to level 80, you're not absolutely garbage at the game. Alright, so here we are on the fleet. I hit level 11 on my way here, and the first thing we need to do is we need to fill out the rest of our gear pieces. So if you look over here, this is empty, these are all empty, right? We want to fill out these pieces of gear because the way that the bolster works, or the automatic game balancing thing, when you're in a PvP match, if you don't have all those slots filled out, then the game doesn't balance anything to you. So what we do here is we go to this console and we pick up this Warzone, or this quest right here called Introduction to Warzones, and it'll give us all these pieces that we are missing. So we get this quest, and we have to complete a PvP Warzone in order to get the rewards. So the very first Warzone that you play, you will be underbalanced, right? Because you're not going to have all the stats that you need. But we need to play one at least in order to get the rest of this stuff here. So that's what we're going to do first. All right, so we played one match at level 11, undergeared, because you have to play at least one to get the rest of your, you know, your implants and your relics or whatever. And then from this point, we have the rest of our gear filled out. So at this point, at very low level, you are geared enough to just continue to PvP from here if you wanted to. All right, guys, so here's the brackets for the PvP. At level 10, you can start PvPing, but you're going to be PvPing against anybody from level 10 up to level 45. This is low-level PvP, or as we call them, lowbies. If you wanted more of a better time in this low-level bracket, I would suggest leveling yourself to the higher side of that bracket, you know, but make it as low level as you can make it if you wanted more experience in that bracket of PvP, right? So all right, guys, so for example, I'm on the fleet right now, on the Republic fleet. I'm going to the combat training section here, and you can go to each little cubicle for whatever class that you are, and look at your trainer here, right? So if I open the skills that I have currently, at level 10, going into PvP at level 10, all you have here, this is Jedi Shadow for an example here. At level 10, all you have is your stealth, single target taunt, your CC breaker, you know, and a stun. Once I hit level 15, I suddenly have one of my biggest hitting abilities here, Vaulting Slash. I have my buff for my crit at Force Potency at level 15, and also Force Speed. So level 15 for me is a really good level to start PvPing. Because at least I have a little bit more mobility with Force Speed, and I have my buffs, and I have a better, you know, damaging ability with Vaulting Slash. What I would do is I would suggest that you guys start PvPing as early as possible, but if you wanted to, you could come over here to the trainer and take a look at the skills that you are going to learn when you hit a certain level, right? So for example, also you have to make sure that this drop down here is showing stuff, because if I go to trainable, it's going to show nothing, right? Because I don't have any skills to learn right now at my current level, because I'm level 17 right now. So when you hit this drop down menu, go to show new, and then you can see all the abilities that you're going to learn from this trainer, right? So the low level PvP bracket, once again, is level 10 to level 45. So I don't really get anything significant after this level 35 area. So once I'm at level 35 or 43, I guess, but 43 is only 2 levels away from being out of that low level bracket. So level 35 here is all the abilities that you'll have in that low level bracket. But if you level all the way to 35 and then PvP from 35 to 45, that's only 10 levels of experience that you're going to get from low level PvP, which is better than nothing. You know, I would suggest at the very least, please start PvPing at level 35 until you exit that low level bracket. So then you have at least 10 levels to learn everything that you can learn from PvP in that low level bracket, right? Because some of these abilities are kind of game changers, right? When it comes to PvPing at that level. Force Cloak, for example, is your emergency stealth button. Right, you can exit combat and get out of trouble. Deflection is my defensive cooldown that I can use to avoid weapon damage, and then also having an interrupt and your sap, you know, out of combat from stealth crowd control, right? So I have no problem PvPing at level 15, like where I am right now, because at least, even though I have less abilities and I don't have all these other things to use, it kind of teaches you how to use your positioning and your movement to stay alive, right? Because if I don't have a cloak and I don't have deflection, then what do I have? You know, all I have is force speed and a stun, you know, and my positioning on the map. So when you have less skills, it actually teaches you how to use your positioning and, you know, things on the map and your teammates, right? You know, fighting next to your teammates and stuff like that. So anyway, PvP as early as possible, but at the very least, at least get in here and do some PvP at level 35. So 35 to 45. Don't even level through your story anymore. Just PvP from 35 to 45 until you leave that low level bracket. And if you already leveled higher than the low level bracket, it's okay. It's not too late. You can still PvP in the mid level bracket. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? the level 1 through 50 storyline, the class-specific storyline for each class is the best story you're going to get out of this game. After that, it doesn't really matter. The best stories are the individual class stories, your level 1 to your level 50 base storyline. Those are the best ones. So if you wanted to play through those, absolutely go ahead and do that, okay? But it's not too late to PvP in the mid-level bracket once you finish your story, okay? For example here, so mid-level bracket is going to be from 45 all the way to 79. If you PvP at level, at 46 or something like that, you're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage because, if you run into higher level players, they have more of their skill tree unlocked. They have more of their skills that they learn from the trainer. But see, you only get another significant ability at level 60. Most classes do, right? I think these levels are pretty similar with all the other classes, like at what level you learn certain skills, right? But so, for example, Jedi Shadow, I get my Execute at 47, and then I get, Shadow Stride at level 60. So from 60 and on, from 60 all the way to 79, PvP. Just PvP. That's going to be the best experience that you can get. And also, when you have your tree here, of course, the higher up you go, more things that you unlock here. But if you wait too long, you're not going to have as many levels to gain, just experience and knowledge overall, like when you're going into PvP. Guys, let me tell you right now, there is absolutely no rush to getting to the end game PvP. There's no rush at getting level 80 so that you can get all your gear and then, PvP. Because the end game, I mean, it's kind of ironically, it's kind of in the name, for Star Wars. The end game is the end of the game. Like, there's no content up here. You know what I mean? It's the same repetitive shit, all day, every day. And especially for PvP, right? Like, once you get all your gear in PvP, like, there's nothing else to gain. Like, all you're going to do is go into PvP just to PvP because it's fun, right? And that's what we do. But you don't want to go into level 80 PvP without having any experience prior to, because you will get destroyed and you're going to end up not really liking it and questioning your choices that you've made. You know what I mean? So PvP as early as possible. If you already missed that low level bracket, that's okay. You still have a lot of time to PvP in the mid level bracket before it gets, super sweaty at the end game at level 80 PvP. So take your time, get better as you're progressing through your levels while doing PvP. Don't focus on that. Don't focus on rushing the levels. Don't focus on quickly trying to get to the end game, because you want to actually be a beast before you hit level 80, so that when you do hit level 80, you're coming in there kind of on an even playing field, because automatically you're going to be undergeared going into level 80 PvP, because everybody already has gear. So the least you can do is up your skill level, so that when you're wearing the base set of gear that you can buy with Warzone, with your commendations, the PvE gear, like level 320 PvE gear as like a base starter set for you, before you start earning PvP gear, at least your skill level is higher. So the disparity between you and the other players isn't gonna be as much of a difference. Okay, so those are my tips for you guys. PvP as early as you can. If you missed out on the low level bracket, that's okay. You can still PvP at mid level bracket and take your time. There's no rush getting to the end game, because this game is still going to be here no matter how long it takes for you to get to that point. And once you do reach level 80, it doesn't take a long time to gear out your character. Like, it really doesn't. So get good first, and then jump into the sweaty tryhards at level 80, and you'll have a lot of a better time. Okay, I promise you. So thank you guys. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on another one.